Hey y'all, Boardgamerants here where you'll find everything solo tabletop gaming and more, and it's been a while, but thought I'd share with you what I've been up to, what I've been playing, at least this past week, and let's take a look at what's on this table. So we'll start with John Company, and this is a game that I backed, and really all because of this game right here, Pax Pamir, which I think was basically the same designer, same solo designer as well. It's Cole Worley. Actually, I'm not too sure if that's the designer of Pax Pamir, but I know that Ricky Royal or Richard Wilkins from Box Lights designed Pax Pamir's solo, and it's excellent. I mean, I love the game. It's one of the better solo games I have. So I figured if these guys were teaming up again with John Company Second Edition, I'd pick it up, even though, it just, like Pax Pamir, had a completely dry, drab sort of theme for me. I mean, it's historically based. It's not dry and drab. History can be pretty dry and drab. Anyway, just not my thing. But the mechanics of Pax Pamir more than made up for it. Stunning, stunning game. But John Company here is far more, I think it's just a lot more complex. And I've had this out now for a few weeks since I got it. I've played it, 7 times now. I'm kind of near the end of this game. But ultimately, it's about, so John Company is, a company that goes and exploits India through trade and whatnot. And, they're kind of not a good company, but so you play a family, the Sykes family in this case. I think all the families basically they're all the same, just different names. Anyway, and you're trying to position your family in the company to make lots of moolah so that you can eventually retire in these kind of posh estates over here. You get victory points, a lot of them through that, but you also get victory points here and there for other stuff too. And then whoever has the most, victory points at the end wins. So basically, whoever exploits the company best wins. But there's a win-loss condition. There's the company fails, and you score a certain way, and the company succeeds after a certain number of rounds, and you score a certain way. Well, almost always the company fails, at least in my estimation. You're playing up against the crown. So here's the AI, and multiplayer, there would be a lot of negotiating. There would be a lot of, hey, I want to be chairman, even though you've got more shares in the company than me, and then you can basically negotiate every aspect of the game, where to trade and who's going to attack what region, all this stuff. And, but of course, when you're playing solo, how do you do that? Well, Richard Wilkins, Ricky Royal came up with a system, these promise cubes, where you kind of exchange back and forth between the AI and yourself. I have a lot of pull right now with the AI because I allowed the AI to take over a lot of offices, and because of that I gained favor, and now I can use those to kind of help push the crown to do certain, maybe trade in certain areas and maybe attack certain areas. So very interesting in that respect. And the game basically plays over very few rounds. And you just move this little marker around this little kind of, bop, 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 all the way down. And then you go up, China, bonuses, revenue, events in India, Parliament meets, upkeep, and then, whoop, end of round. You move that up one, and you do it all over again. And each little section is kind of its own little thing that you do. In London season, you're going to see which of your guys retire. And then your family action, you get to do, you can buy some luxury item, or you can seek a share in the company, or you can do certain things in the family action. Firms, that's kind of an ability where you'd flip your board and you get to run your own little company. But I haven't even really tried that yet. The 7 times or so I played this game, it's complicated enough without all that. But I do eventually want to try it, but I don't know if I'm going to, because the game is ultimately, I don't think it's for me. It's the biggest thing issue I have with it is that the company fails almost all the time. You know, the Crown seems kind of hell-bent on company failure, and it's hard to stop. And I mean, even when you, like right now, the company's about to fail. The company's standing. It's all the way down there. One more move down and failure, and immediately the game ends. And there's a big chance element to who wins there. You kind of flip a card and it can just totally change whether you win or lose, and it's completely by chance, which is not, I mean, for a game this complicated and as much thought you have to put into it, for it to come down to company failure and just a flip of a card determines who wins or loses. You know, maybe you had a bunch of shipyards. Well, now you flip over that card and you get dock points for all your shipyards or something. It's just totally random, and it takes away from, it's very anticlimactic. And then when you think you can keep the company running, like I had just this last turn, I had a ton of ability to trade over here in this area, and I rolled dice. I had an 87% chance, according to, there's a little thing over here, actually a little cheat sheet. It says chance of success, and I rolled 5 dice. I had 87% chance, and it failed. So I mean, I had like kind of everything on that, and it didn't work. And so and I swear it's something like that every game. Just frustrating. It is frustrating. Man, I could be just terrible at the game, but I've played it a lot now, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not thinking it's for me, but I'll give it another couple tries here, but that might be about it. So John Company might not be up my alley. I can certainly appreciate the effort that went into creating, designing a solo mode for a negotiating game, you know, primarily a negotiating game, pulling that off so effectively. It's a really clever system. But that is another thing too that's a little bit tough about the game. It's one of the first games where you simply don't try to remember how the AI runs on its turn. You flip through pages after page after page of, you know, as you're taking those actions that are saying, you know, around the board, you got to kind of start from page 1. And I laminated these and kind of, because you're going through this book constantly to try to figure out, you know, what the AI is doing, how many cubes you want to pay to influence this way or that, or what you're going to get if you help the Crown, you know, with every single phase it's covered here. And you can't remember all this stuff. So basically you have to have this and play with this every game. So that's another bit of a turnoff for me. I kind of like to be able to just play a game a few times, know what the AI is going to do, and not have to refer to a book all the time. But that is not really a possibility in this already very complex game. So anyway, John Company. Over here though, now we take it's quite a different game here. This is Final Girl. I've been eyeballing this, hearing about it. You know, it's solo only game, and kind of been seeing videos on it for a while. I picked up everything. There's basically a core box. It's very well done too. It's just a nice system. Very, very. You know, this is magnetized here, so it's kind of clicks and opens. Everything's very sturdy and well put together. The pieces, everything's very attractive looking game, and very kind of modular too, because you gotta have this core box to have kind of your basic stuff in your board that is Final Girl. So it's basically like any horror film where all the dumb people die. It's down to this one final girl who kills or bees killed the bad guy. And it's based on all sorts of different types of movies. Like this is basically Dr. Fright is Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street. And then you got, instead of Elm Street, you got Maple Lane, So that's the game. And you get to play the game. It's kind of fun. And you're running around on Maple Lane here and trying to save people who are acting really dumb and getting slashed by Dr. Fright. And as Dr. Fright kills people, his bloodlust goes up. He gets stronger, and basically you win the game if you kill Dr. Fright or whatever villain you're playing against, and you lose the game if Final Girl dies. So you win if they die, you lose if you die. And gameplay is pretty simple. There's an action phase, and it's all laid out right here on the little board there, where you play your cards, which allow you to move around and gather up stuff and do search things. You know, I found a machete, I found a crucifix here, I got other items that I could find. I just have to get into these houses and search. And if you search in a house in this particular game, you don't get to search in it again. Also in this particular, there's a little subset of rules depending on, I think, which feature film you're playing. Like I just started playing this, so I've got all these other, the Happy Trails, Horror, Slaughter in the Groves, etc., which is going to introduce more villains and more final girls, and then yeah, there's actually a little booklet here too that does, I don't know, adds to the scenarios. There's this terror from above. Got a lot of fun stuff to it, and it's all just very well done and quick playing. And yeah, so here when you roll the dice and you don't get, what you're looking for, the game's so quick it doesn't matter so much. I mean, there's some good, I think there's some fun strategy to try to, it's just so thematic. And so when you roll bad, unlike John Company, which can just basically, one bad roll changes everything. Here, a bad roll is, there's ways you can mitigate. There's stuff that, it's very thematic that something doesn't work right. And so it's very tolerable. So I've only played one full game of this. I'm in the middle of my second game, and I really like it. I really do. In fact, I only bought the core box and then this feature film, this Dr. Fright and Maple Lane feature film there. And as soon as I played once, I went and picked up all the rest of them at the store there. So got all those to go, and you can mix and match. You can play any final girl against any villain in any location. Very, very cool to be able to just sort of swap stuff out. And even within this, box and feature film, you're going to get different, the startup is going to give you a different feel each time. You're going to set up the board differently each time. There's a bunch of different setup cards in each, this is the little maple symbol, tells you it goes with the Maple Lane board. And so it's a mix and match. As long as you get all the feature film stuff, but even if you just have one feature film, there's a lot of variability there. So good stuff. Looking forward to getting more into this game and just seeing how it plays out, seeing if it has some good staying power, or if I get kind of bored or what. It always takes a little bit of time. Next up in the queue, or sort of, who knows, but what I currently have planned is Sentinels Multiverse Definitive Edition. Also want to check that out. Pretty eager to try that Too Many Bones, little scenario there of some sort, the Automaton of Shale. And recently I've got kind of into these card games. Sentinels, there's I've been playing, well, right over here, sorry. Arkham Horror kind of got me back into it, the card game. I have a box here with a bunch of scenarios I hadn't even played yet. So I sort of busted out that again. I whetted my appetite to start playing. So I picked up Marvel Champions. Got some good plays into that. Lord of the Rings. I picked up the new edition of Lord of the Rings, LCG. That's been around forever. And so yeah, I just kind of I was just in the mood for that style of game, and so picked up the definitive edition there, Sentinels and Multiverse, just because it's sort of the cream of the crop of that genre. And also too, I just recently played with my family Blood Rage, and this has a few fan-made solo variants. I'll be looking more into that. I've only played it once multiplayer, with my son and my wife, and my son was kicking our butts the whole time until the very end, and my wife pulled off the victory, and because she's crafty like that. So that was fun. I'm looking forward to trying that solo, and as well as basically got it to play multiplayer, but we'll see how it goes. So that's it. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate you checking out the video, especially after such a long hiatus there. And now it's the winter months here in the Pacific Northwest. Time to get back indoors, time to get back more into gaming and less stuff elsewhere, vacations and stuff. And so yeah, I'll be hopefully maybe making some more videos if anybody's up for watching them. And until next time, I'm Boardgamerants and I'm out.